How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to build and set up a homemade worm farm. The materials you're going to need are 3 storage boxes. I'm using these 54-litre boxes. You're going to need 1 lid, and then we're going to use, this is a water can tap. I have 3 of those because I have to fix one of my other worm farms. And you're also going to need a booster box of live worms. How we're going to set it up is this is going to be the bottom tray, and this is going to have no holes in it except for the tap, which is going to be in the front to collect the worm tea. And then these 2 trays are going to be where your worms are, and they're going to have holes in the bottom for the water to drain through. And then you're going to fill up one of the trays, and then once that's full, you're going to start filling up the second tray, and then the worms are going to come out of the bottom tray. And then this should be full of castings by the time they're all in the top tray, and then you can harvest the castings and then put this one on top and start filling that one up. So we're going to start by drilling holes in the bottom of the 2 trays where the worms are going to be housed. So we're just going to drill some evenly spaced holes. After you're done drilling, you should have plenty of holes for the worms to move between the layers. You don't want to drill any holes in one of the tubs, and this is because this is going to be the bottom tub, which is going to catch all the worm tea. So you want to attach the tap at the front here, pretty close to the bottom, so that when you want to harvest the worm tea, you can just turn the tap and it'll come out. So now we're going to drill the hole for the tap to go through. Now you want to fit the tap through the hole. It's pretty snug fit. This is just the adapter off a hose because these things didn't come with one. So this is what goes on the back to seal it shut. So now we're just going to attach that on the back, on the inside, and that's going to seal our tap shut. And then when we want to get the worm tea, harvest the worm tea, we can just turn it on or turn it off. So now I've shown you how to build your worm bin. Now I'm going to show you how to set it up. So this is the bottom tank which is going to collect all the worm tea, and the worm tea is going to come out this tap. So what we're going to do first is put 2 bricks in the bottom chamber, and this is to ensure that the next layer sits a bit higher than just off the bottom. Otherwise the water is going to come up through here, and then it's going to drown your worms. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get a bucket of horse manure, and this is going to be the substrate that your worms are going to live in. You want to moisten the substrate, so we're going to put some water in here. Now you want to make sure that you mix it up because it's not all going to absorb into every spot. Now I'm going to show you how the worm tea drains out now that water's drained through. So you just turn this. There we go. And then that's obviously just from the horse poo, but once the worms are in there, then this is going to be worm tea. Now it's time to put your worms in. So I've got this booster box of live worms. Bought this from Bunnings. So as you can see, there's a fair few worms in there. It says 500 worms. So we're going to put half in the one that I set up here, and then half in this one. So just spread it around your box. So this half's going to go into this box. Now that we've put in the substrate, we're going to put in what we're actually going to feed them. So you can put in food scraps from your kitchen or just garden scraps. I like to put in chopped up banana trunks because we use the kitchen scraps to feed our chickens. So this is something, because the chickens don't eat it, then it's better than just leaving it on the ground, because the worms are gonna make something out of it quicker than it just decomposing on the top of the ground. And then we can put the worm castings and the worm tea back into the garden. So what I do is and these are pretty moist. As you can see, there's a lot of water content, so it keeps it pretty moist without adding a lot of water. So I just lay a lot on top of here, and eventually the worms are gonna climb through all of that and turn it all into worm castings. So we want to check that our tray is going to fit right on here. So that's good, because it's sinking all the way and sitting on top of that, so that the worms can come through into the top tank when they're finished eating in there. You don't want it to be sitting away from the substrate, and then the worms can't get into the next tub. And then this is going to be the lid. So they're gonna, once they're done about halfway through that food, then you're gonna start filling up this one, and then that's gonna turn into, this bottom tray is gonna turn into worm castings, and then you can take that out and then put it on your garden, and then this is gonna be the bottom one, and you put that one on top empty and fill that one up, and then it just cycles through. And then obviously you get the worm tea out the bottom. So this is going to be your lid. You shouldn't, I don't put any holes in the top of the lid, because obviously the water's going to sit in here, run into there, and then if it rains a lot, it's going to fill up this and flood it. So if you want air holes, this lid has like an air hole there, but it doesn't properly fit because it's not the proper size for these boxes, so the air can get through anyway. But if it's a proper fit and it sort of seals it, you can just drill some holes in the tops here. You can sort of see it here from one of my other worm farms. But yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for watching the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and have fun with your worm farm.